I recently did this video of a black woman who openly admitted, that she had different standards for black men than she did men outside of her race. Specifically, she went
Not
on to share
surprised.
that although she had a black man who treated her nice, was very kind to her, did all kind of different things, she just wasn't really feeling him. But when she got with a Latino man, she went just bend over backwards to do things for him. And it wasn't because he did anything particularly great. It's just because he wasn't black. And so she wanted to be
Wow.
like, man, like black women don't really like black men like that. And she was kind of joking about it. But the thing about it is, she said out loud what I believe a lot of ladies feel internally. I'm not saying everybody, but because I do believe there is still sometimes some internalized self hatred that goes on, particularly in the black American community, this is why I think there
Yes
are
and no.
times where that disrespect that we can see amongst each other permeates in the way it comes out in relationships, the way it comes out in families. And as a married black woman, I really feel like I'm starting to see more and more how much of culture and society does not create a healthy environment for this marriage and black love in
I agree
particular
with
to
that.
thrive, because we already have a culture that really nurtures a lot of this self-hating ideas and rhetorics about black women, and then black women sometimes too also, it's like they can really internalize these self-hating ideas about their own men, and we don't say it, but it's just the little things, wanting a lighter skinned baby, wanting a baby with good hair, going online and always associating
Okay.
like wealth and class and position and all this stuff with like white men or non-black men, like just all this programming that's been going on for decades. And we bring all that stuff sometimes into relationships, into marriage. And I feel like I've literally seen black women treat their own men a
Okay.
particular way, and then fast forward and then give other people of other races better behavior. And
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I have seen this play out, right? But I don't think it really comes from a place of self hate. Now, if you let some of them tell it, the ladies, the spoilers and whatnot, they'll say that it's more about preference. I prefer to get treated a certain way and whatnot, right? But I think it's more than that. It's not self hate and it's not really preference like they try to hide behind, more than it's just about misplaced anger, misplaced hatred. I mean, think about it, right? You can go all over TikTok, all over these other social media platforms, and it's like a hot topic for, you know, women of a certain demographic to down on black men when it comes to relationships, right? And it's funny how the vast majority of the type of women that you will see doing this claim to be super ultra pro black, but at the same time, they can't really seem to see how historical situations and precedent has, worked its way into, the modern black male and black female relations. But not trying to play the race card. Let's go.
sometimes this is not even in romantic. Sometimes just like black folks, we don't even know how to treat each other in business. Sometimes we treat, we work really
Interesting.
hard when it comes to wanting to work for other people, wanting to work for white society, but comes to black owned business, then we don't want to pay them right, or we don't want to support them, or we have all kind of negative things to say. Like I just feel like even in general, sometimes black folks just don't even treat each other that well. Like we're so quick and fast to want to treat other people better and to want to trust other people more than we trust even who we are ourselves. And that definitely comes out not only in relationships, but it can come out in the way that men and women interact in relationships. And so
Okay.
when I saw the post that I did and I asked black men, like, okay, are y'all seeing different standards, right? And then you had this black woman come out who admitted, she did, I mean, I did a whole review on my YouTube, and she was just like, yeah, black women don't really like black men like that. And of course, she was talking about herself. I'm not saying this to everybody, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, what she said out loud are things that some ladies, I think, really internalize.
Now, I will admit there are some women who do just it's it's not all, some but all, right? But yes, there are some women that, if it ain't white, it ain't right for them. I mean, anything but a black man. I mean, I've known a couple in my life, to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, quick story, right? I remember when I was younger, when I was in New Orleans, right? I remember walking down the hallway at a hospital and whatnot, and this girl, she was pregnant, and she was on, on the phone with her friend, and she was talking about how she was so happy that she was going to have a little mixed baby. Her baby daddy was white. She was so happy her baby daddy was white. so her baby can have good hair. That stuck with me, and I wonder, is that what it is, right? Not so much about self-hatred more than it's just about, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, let's go.
And the great news, I think, about having social media and having these platforms is that we can actually finally start to address things that have been hidden in the dark for quite some time, or things that people have maybe just trying to push under the rug. It's like, if there's still some internalized self hatred going on, if there's some still, like, white ice is colder mentality going on, that's going to impact the way you treat yourself, the way you treat, your own men and your own community. And then at a certain
True.
point, too, like, if you're bringing negative energy, if you're bringing like super hyper masculine energy to black men, but you're acting more feminine or more cordial to men of other races, then you can't look
Yes.
at black men and be like, oh well, all y'all are dusties. You don't treat me right. Da 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 da. It's like you're not even giving them a fair shot.
True. I agree with that. But we also have to be honest. There are some dusty brothers out here too. But that's not to like excuse this negative behavior that some of these women have towards men. I mean, but yes, there are some brothers out here that are dusty, and when they get hit with the dusty label, they kind of, earn that. But I get the point that you make.
You're showing up as two different people, and that could actually impact the way you interact in dating and relationships and all that. But
Yes.
that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, that's just something that I noticed.
Now, okay, I want to point out something, right? Uh, do I think that black women don't like black men? I do think that what we're seeing that looks like black women not liking black men is really, like I said before, misplaced hatred, misplaced anger. You know, anger and hatred towards the fact that their conditions are the way that they are in America. Because one of the main things I hear when black women talk about dating out, for the most part, it comes back to the economic circumstances. Now, I want you to think about this, right? If you believe that in order to be a woman in America, you have to have access to certain things, and due to society being set up in the way that it is, due to certain opportunities not being readily available in our community, or just just let's just run with that, right? Certain opportunities not being available in our community for whatever reason that it may be. Then, if your men don't have access to these opportunities so they can have the earning potential that you feel that they should have, then by proxy, it's like saying that these men can't give you womanhood, right? So some of these women have a certain degree of hatred or anger towards that fact. And I don't know, maybe it's a stretch, but in my opinion, they end up for one reason or another feeling like they can't have access to womanhood if they have to get it through a black man. That's just my theory, just the way I view it. I want to know what you guys think. Go ahead and comment below. And before we get on out of the video, right, I want to say this, right? I don't think that this is just common to black men and black women. I think it's more common than we know amongst other groups of people too. Because whenever you live in a society where one particular group is seen as the symbol of what success looks like, and women, just about like everybody else, they want to have their, you know, proximity to successfulness. And, you know, in America, some people view that as white people, Caucasian. So just my 2 cents. Anyway, go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe. Holla at your boy later.